in the whip. We in the building. Lunchtime with the bullies. You know what I'm saying? This upcoming joint practice is just what the doctor ordered. Hold on. Bully time, bully nation. Joint practice is in effect. D-Lo, what's up? I see y'all in the building, man. It's definitely turn your pads in season. It's definitely turn your pads in season, man. Time to talk spicy. Let's get to them birds. We're gonna definitely get to these payments. Miss Austin, how you doing? Miss Austin, one of the biggest Eagles fans in the world, man. Practice was light today. Practice was light today for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts only threw 8 passes in practice today, man. Jalen threw 8 passes in practice today. All of them were completed. And it was light, man. I think it was just about an hour practice. I think Brent Tooth got the go ahead at left guard with the Landon Dickerson injury. Then what's his name? Kenyon Green. He also was day to day. I didn't even know that. But yeah, practice was light today, man. We got a monster joint practice coming up against the Cleveland Browns. And I think that that's going to shed a lot of light on what needs to happen for this roster and are we ready to really chase this repeat. We got some obvious holes on the roster. And the thing about the holes we got on the roster, I got to keep it 100, man. What's going on, Unique Cross? I got to keep it 100 with some of the holes on the roster. These is holes we dug up. We had these holes filled. We decided to dig these holes up, man. We decided to dig these holes up. If you want to keep it 100, I think Howie Roseman was put, King Diego, what's up? I think Howie was put in between a rock and a hard place with some of these holes on the roster, man. I think he was put in between a rock and a hard place because hindsight always makes sense. But honestly, with the way that the defensive line is, I don't know if I would have picked up Jordan Davis' 5th-year option. I don't know if I would have picked up Jordan Davis' 5th-year option, bro. I would have made sure I had that money to keep Slay and to keep Rodgers. I would have made sure I had that money to keep Slay and keep Rodgers, man. I don't know if I'd have picked up the option because you still had Thomas Booker, you still had Moro Ojomo, but that is neither here nor there. We kept what we had at the CB2 position. We're going to see what Jaquarian Bennett brings to the table, and we're gonna assess and we're gonna evaluate these things different. Who started at CB2 today? I don't know who started at CB2. They didn't even talk about that. But Makuba did start at safety today. Makuba did start at safety today over Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown's been getting the most of them reps. I think it was largely in part of Makuba not being healthy. Oh, they saying Adoree started. So we still unsure there. EJWH7Y, man, thank you for that. Adoree started today. I mean, I don't even think Adoree makes this roster, but it's still an active fight. It's still an active fight for CB2. And I think joint practices are really, really, really going to shed light on that. Because if Shador Sanders come out here and cook these guys in joint practice, if Shador Sanders come out here and cook these guys during the game, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say for nobody. I don't know what to say for nobody. I feel like we got to go out there and intercept Shador. I like Shador. Shador proving a lot of people wrong, but I feel like the buck got to stop here. The buck got to stop here against the Eagles. Our depth should be able to make life hell for Shador Sanders, whether it's and Shador is a little he's nimble on his feet. He's nimble on his feet. I think Shador will still play a lot for the Browns. The Browns ain't had this much excitement in terms of ratings being around them in a very, very long time for a young prospect. So I'm excited to see the Eagles defense go out there and make life difficult for Shador. It got to happen in preseason. It got to happen during these joint practices this week. It's 2 of them. I think those guys are they coming to Philly? I think they're going to come to Philly tomorrow. They probably in town now, but joint practices is tomorrow and the day after. And I'm excited to see what Jaquari and Bennett bring to the table. I want to see it. I want to see this. This defense has been dominating most training camp against our ones. That's a good sign because usually it's Jalen Hurts not throwing an incomplete pass and the defense getting cooked. The defense has been dominating. I think this is a new era of Eagles football where for 4 or 5 straight years we can have a top 5 defense with these guys that we keep bringing in. You know what I mean? I think that we could have top 5 defense for the next 5 years, and we got to capitalize off that and get. I think we can at least get 2 more rings with the supporting cast we got, the players, the coaches. The Eagles can get 2 more rings in the next 5 years. Let's go out there and get it, man. You got Saquon Barkley, you got the best running game. You got a lot, man, a lot. But guys got to perform for it to happen. Who's going to be the standout guy at safety? What's good, D-Lo? Who's going to be that guy at safety? Who's going to be that guy at CB2? When Eli Rick's name is in the mix, then you don't have enough cornerbacks. Who I'm pulling for at RB2, I like Will Shipley, man. I think Will Shipley played great in preseason. I think Will Shipley played really well in preseason. I don't think the offense played well against the Bengals starters per se, but we did have a scoring drive against their starters, so I'll take that back. But I think Will Shipley played well. I'm rooting for Will Shipley, and I know what AJ Dillon is going to bring to the table, so I think AJ Dillon is going to be the RB2. But I think there are some logical packages for Will Shipley, and it makes sense. Andrew McCouber got some first team reps today. He need them. Andrew McCouber was brought here to start. Andrew McCouber was brought here to start. You know what I mean? People think it's so easy as, well, you can move Cooper DeJean to the outside. You can move Cooper DeJean to safety. No, bro. Cooper DeJean is a top 50 player in the league. Whatever he was. He's a top 100 player in the league at the nickel cornerback position. You don't move people around who submit themselves like that. You don't move people around who submit themselves like that. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. Moving Cooper DeJean to nickel is what turned the season around. Why would we move him away from nickel? Them other guys going to have to get it together, bro. Them other guys going to have to get it together. I think they got to see McCouber against the Browns to decide if he's going to start. That's the only reason Brown been starting. He hasn't practiced a lot. I don't know, man. I'm not. I know I haven't seen nothing from McCouber, but I'm not super high on him, though. I'm not going to act like I am. I'm not going to act like I'm super high on McCouber. I think McCouber's too small. He had injuries in college. I'm not certain about him against the run at this level. I'm not, man. Those are just my concerns. Now, here come the millions of people that's going to tell me to relax, this, that, and the third. Y'all told me to relax with Keely Ringo. You know what I'm saying? Y'all told me to relax with Keely Ringo. Y'all told me to relax with Adoree Jackson. Y'all said that whatever. And then I come out there and Jamar Chase and I'm doing them filthy. And then the excuses for that are, well, it's Jamar Chase. Well, if Keely Ringo going to be CB2, he going to be going against the T. Higgins of the world, the George Pickens of the world. He going to be going against a lot of it's guys on the caliber of Devontae Smith, Puka Nacua, or Adams. You got to match up on one of them. Now, the wide receiver 2 position in the National Football League is basically a wide receiver 1. Like, let's not act like that, bro. Guys like, you know what I mean, Tony Butts, thank you for the super chat. Guys like Jamar Chase get moved around to sniff out the weak link so we can expose them. You know what I mean? Guys got, you know what I'm saying? CeeDee Lamb will get moved. If Ringo's on the field, they will call a play for CeeDee Lamb to get matched up on Ringo, bro. Wouldn't you do that? The weakness right now is CB2. LB let the Ringo fans hear it on vacation. Yeah, I couldn't. I had to find some internet speed. I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The middle of an Atlantic Ocean. Bought the best Wi-Fi package I could buy to let the Keely Ringo people that was being so hurtful to me, let them know that I saw what happened to Keely in preseason on vacation. I saw it on vacation. I don't want to be the I told you so guy, but common sense say that we got to tighten up at that position. I'm glad the matchup is against the Browns, though. I'm gonna explain that. I'm glad the matchup is against the Browns because we're down we're down Landon Dickerson. We get to test the depth against Myles Garrett and those guys. You know what I mean? I'm glad the joint practices Landon Dickerson will not be there. We will see if our offensive line is ready to roll. We will find out if our offensive line is ready to roll. Myles Garrett and them are going to be ready to play. I know that is joint practice, but guys like Myles Garrett, Jordan Mailata, them guys don't play in preseason. They play in the joint practices are more demanding of your body than preseason games. They're more demanding of your body than preseason games. So, you know what I mean? I feel like joint practice going to tell you what you lacking. I learned a lot from the Cowboys and Rams joint practice. It translated over to the field. I said the Cowboys can't stop the run. They had what's his name? Karen Williams throwing up the peace sign at practice, burning people to the end zone. And what happened in their preseason game? They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the run. Our deficiencies will rear their heads in joint practice, bro. And that gives us time to go out there and get them figured out. Our deficiencies will rear their heads in joint practice. They will. You know what I mean? They will. I think the wide receiver, the young wide receiver that emerged, Darius Cooper, is making it hard for Jahan Dotson to get an extension with the Philadelphia Eagles. If I'm the Eagles right now, I probably would try to trade Jahan Dotson for like a 4th round pick or something like that. I'll try to trade Jahan Dotson for a 4th round pick. I mean, it makes sense to keep him. It makes sense to keep him, but Darius Cooper is going to be cheaper than Jahan Dotson when summertime roll around. I don't expect Jahan Dotson to be a Philadelphia Eagle after this season. Not at all. Because I think Darius Cooper makes this roster, and I think Darius Cooper replaces Jahan Dotson as wide receiver 3. You know what I mean? I think he replaces him as wide receiver 3. We don't know if we don't know if Dotson was ever going to get an extension. We don't know that. It don't look like the plan was ever to extend him, but Darius Cooper will be on a rookie deal for the next 4 years. I think the Philadelphia Eagles keep him on that rookie contract. They sign him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Well, he don't have a rookie deal. I don't know how that works. He was an undrafted free agent. I don't know how that works for Darius Cooper. I don't know how that works, but I feel like he just gets a contract outright. You know what I mean? It could be a small contract for 2 years. I think the Philadelphia Eagles do something like that. I keep Dotson because he's getting better acclimated with Hurts. We're gonna keep Dotson for sure. I agree with that actually. I would keep Dotson because he knows the system more. Dotson was critical in the playoffs for us. We're not gonna act like he ain't do nothing. Saints give us whatever for Tanner trade deadline. Yeah, and Tanner McKee, man. Tanner McKee, man. You got to be answering the phone for Tanner McKee. You got to be answering the phone for Tanner McKee. If you're Howie Roseman as well, I'd take a 2nd round pick for Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee is easily the best preseason quarterback who's not a starter already. Easily the best preseason quarterback. You know what I mean? It's a lot of teams that need a quarterback. A lot of teams that need a quarterback, man. And I think Tanner McKee is perfect draft value. Perfect draft value. Like if Tanner McKee could go sit behind Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh for a year, I think they got their quarterback because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be there long. I don't want to trade Tanner this season at all. No, we can't trade Tanner this season at all. We can't trade Tanner this season at all. I agree with that. How we not trading him the Eagles value to backup QB position? I agree. We get a comp pick for Dobson regardless, then that's a win-win. That's a win-win for us, man. It's a win-win for us. But, I want to see the offensive line against the Browns D-line. I want to see our backups and our reserves. I want to see our guys against other people. I want to see our ones against other ones, man. I want to see we got to be ready. We got to be ready. And we got to be careful, man. We got to be careful. Jahan savvy for real. He uncovers at the top of his routes because he's twitchy. Always like Jahan out of Penn State. I like Jahan too, man. I like Jahan too. It's just that he playing behind 2 people. My gripe with Jahan Dotson is that when AJ and Smitty not playing, Dotson don't go crazy. What's to Mac McWilliams? How is he unfolded? He's looking good, but Mac McWilliams is a slot. Mac McWilliams is playing good in the slot. Mac McWilliams is not an outside cornerback. Mac McWilliams is he's been making plays all camp. Cowboys give up 300 week one on the ground. I think it's more than that, bro. I think the Eagles gonna set some type of rushing record week one, bro. I think Jalen Hurts might run for a bean. Saquon might run for a bean. I can see Dylan getting like 3 touchdowns. It's going the ground game for the Eagles week one. I think it's going to be virtually unstoppable. And if the only way to stop it is to severely overcommit, and that just leaves the one-on-one options for Smitty and AJ, Dotson. I just think it's going to be bad, bro. You might even see Darius Cooper getting on the action if they decide to commit. Dotson is poised to have a big year. Jalen, trust him now. I agree. I see us making another trade in the season. I think that's too late. I think the Eagles perform at their best when they have their unit in training camp already. When they have their unit in training camp, I think they perform at their best. Honestly, I've been waiting for the Justin Simmons. I've been waiting for the Justin Simmons alert to drop, bro. A lot of teams don't have no depth. The Commanders are really, really old, actually. The Commanders are old without depth. The Dallas Cowboys, they don't have depth. The Giants, I think they might have a little depth now. I think the Giants might have some defensive depth. I don't think the Giants have offensive depth, but from a starter to a backup position, the Eagles got probably the best roster in football. The Eagles probably got the best roster in football. LB, I bet Louis wish they still had Dotson. I mean, these guys that didn't get paid, I don't know what's gonna happen with that, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with these guys who haven't gotten paid. Terry McLaurin, Michael Parsons, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. It's just a strange time. A strange time for the NFC East. We just signed a defensive tackle from the Cowboys practice squad. Didn't he play at Georgia? I don't know much about Buddy. I ain't looked him up yet. My dream starting secondary: Q, JB, Coop, Blankenship, and Makuba. Yeah, I ain't mad at that. I'm not sold on Makuba though. I'm not sold on Makuba. I want to go get Justin Simmons. I'm not sold on Makuba, bro. The worst thing we could have did after winning the Super Bowl the way we did was get rid of CJ Gardner-Johnson. That was the worst thing we could have did, bro. Slay could have went, but Slay and CJ makes no sense. When the next Super Friends, either this week or next week. They're actually in the group chat right now talking about it. The new D tackle is 6'2", 340 pounds, a run stuffer. Yeah, I heard he was a run stuffer. I've been wanting Justin Simmons for 2 seasons. I've pretty much given up by now. Yeah. I think you need a vet. You know what I mean? I've been screaming you need a veteran presence on the back end of the defense all year. You know what I mean? I don't know if my voice echoed that loud because my voice had to fight through all of the Ringo praise. You know what I mean? And it's not like I don't dislike Keely Ringo. It's just that I just know for a fact that he's not ready. Keely Ringo's a special teams guy. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a special teams guy. I wouldn't trade him. I think Ringo makes the roster, but as a special teams cornerback, Ringo should get every special team snap. I seen Ringo take a block kick back to the house. Ringo is in on the tackling and all that stuff. There is a place for Ringo on the roster. It's just not a starting cornerback. Makuba tape was crazy. I think he just got to get a couple practices under him. I think Makuba need to play damn near the whole preseason. The whole preseason. I would let the rookies play like the first half of something. I honestly wouldn't play no vets on defense. I'll play the offensive starter. I'll play the backups for the defense. And the other guys be on special teams and all of that stuff. The offensive starters need a quarter. Mahomes has played already. Joe Burrow has played already. This whole thing about Jalen Hurts not playing in preseason, I hate it actually. I hate it actually. I hate it. And I don't think Eli Ricks is 100% trash. I think that us trying Eli Ricks out in the slot, it hurt his stock. It hurt his stock. He was getting beat in the slot. Kenyon will probably be cut. I don't know because he looked okay until he got hurt. He looked okay until he got hurt. Ricks and JB battle out for CB2. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. APR is supposed to be BJ 2.0. You know, I ain't heard nothing from him all camp, bro. LB, how is CJ doing? Have you spoke to him? Hope he is good. I don't think his injury was season ending, but I hit him up. He ain't hit me back. You got a lot going on when you get injured, man. The last thing you probably want to do is talk. Last thing you probably want to do is talk. That's totally understandable, but he should be straight. Yeah, I ain't heard nothing about APR. We saw Ty Robinson get a sack in preseason. We know what Jahad Campbell bringing to the table. You know what I mean? Jahad Campbell tape was just remarkable, bro. His tape was remarkable. His preseason tape, bro. He understands more and more run versus pass. That was a knock on him in college. His coverage ability is insane. I've been saying his coverage ability is insane. Had he would have brought down that pick, that would have been like, come on, that's the icing on the cake to a great day. So N'Kobe gone. N'Kobe not gone. N'Kobe fighting his way back. N'Kobe fighting his way back. But I got Jahad Campbell being elite. We need a veteran presence in the secondary room for sure. It might be Reed Blankenship if we don't make no changes, but you know, it is what it is. What I think about the Cleveland preseason game, I think that is going to show what we need. I think it's going to show what we need. I think the offensive starters need to lace them up against Cleveland. I think it's a good test. McKee and Dotson for a second. McKee and Dotson for a second. I think that's a lot to. I think that's a lot to give somebody, bro. I think that's a lot to give somebody. McKee might be the best backup in the league, bro. McKee might be the best backup in the league. I think Tanner McKee is a starter. I think McKee is a starter, bro. The Dotson can start on some. Dotson can start for the Giants. Jahan Dotson could start for the Giants. Jahan Dotson could start for the Saints. Like Dotson could start for a couple people, bro. He could start for a couple people. I think he probably could start for Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Dare J, thank you for the super chat. Why aren't the starters playing in preseason? I feel like we start slow every year. New offensive coordinator as well. I don't like when they sit. I don't like when they sit either. I just feel like we don't want to be that team that's going to get injured in preseason. I feel like we don't want to be those guys that's going to get injured in preseason. I don't know, King Diego. I think the days of trying to get a second for Dotson, I don't think you can get a second for Dotson. Not right now. It's on Dotson. Dotson got to take advantage of every opportunity so he can hit the free agent market after the season, bro. Hit the market after this season and go ahead and get you one, man. I think we actually could pick up his 5th-year option if we wanted. How do you ball in the offseason? Somebody said Dotson been balling this offseason. How you ball? How you ball without how you know? Dotson balled in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I don't think the Eagles play the starters, man. Landon got hurt at practice. AJ had the hamstring issue. I don't see us playing the starters. And that's why I think it's so hard to evaluate some of these guys that's trying to make the roster, because if you don't play these guys against starters, how can you see what they could do in real game situations? Now, I think it's easier for the Eagles in the Eagles case, because if you're a wide receiver and we're trying to see what you can do, Tanner McKee could throw you a serviceable ball, a starter quality ball, and give you the best chance to make the roster. I think our backup offensive line also is really good. So, you know what I mean? That's why you see Will Shipley being able to maneuver and look good as well. I think that preseason shows more about defensive players for real, for real. In terms of like, even when the play don't go to you, you still got an assignment. Like, are you still in the right place? Are you still in the right place? I don't care. I just want to see Shador against our backups. That's the matchup I want to see. And I know we're going to see it because the Browns are rating whores. The Browns are the only person with a stock higher than I think Tanner McKee would be Shador if Shador hit the market. Bills Mafia, Lord Brunson, I'll give you a third for Dotson. See, the Bills would take Dotson. I think the Bills would take Dotson. The Bills would take Dotson. LB, a Joe Mo going to get to that bag after this year. And unfortunately, I think that I don't know if we'll be able to pay that bag. You see what happened with Milton Williams? You see what happened with Milton Williams, bro? You see what happened with Milton Williams, man? Milton Williams on tape is a freak, man. Commanders lose Terry. Will you trade him back to the Commanders? If they lost Terry, I think I don't think the Commanders picked the phone up. They let him go, then he went and he won a chip. I don't think the Commanders will ask for him back. You know what I mean? The Commanders is not trying. The Commanders not trying to trade Terry McLaurin because if they wanted to trade Terry McLaurin, he'd have been a Buffalo Bill. So we just gonna have one good defensive tackle and get new ones in the draft. What do you mean? The Eagles? The Eagles have multiple good defensive tackles. What are you talking about? That's why he was able to get rid of Thomas Booker. Gabe Hall has emerged as a great defensive tackle, or a good one, I should say, serviceable. Cherry Hartfield, you ain't missed nothing, man. Thank you for the super chat. We're going to see Bond, Dane, and Campbell on the field together this year in base defense. I don't think we'll see all three of them in base because base is only two linebackers, right? Or is base three linebackers? I think base is three linebackers. Two safety, three linebackers, four defensive linemen, and two corners. Is it the player or the system? Hargrave left and ain't do nothing since. Got to see what Milton do without us. I mean, I think Milton was a backup, bro. So you got to say it's the player, bro. Hargrave was a starter. That's different. That's different. We all know what Milton could have done with a bigger role. I had Milton Williams ahead of Jordan Davis on the depth chart for like 2 years. I shine, what up? I think it's Milton Williams, bro. Milton Williams is a dog. I think it's Milton Williams, man. Hargrave was our starter. You know what I mean? It's harder to get traded and duplicate starting reps when you're familiar with the system. LB Jahad got crazy speed on Madden. I didn't even buy Madden yet, bro. I'm so late. This is not like me. I'm usually is Madden even out yet? Is Madden even out yet? I'm usually like first on Madden, man. First, I'm behind, man. I gotta grab Madden this weekend. I'm in the crib this weekend, man. I'm in the crib this weekend, man. I'm chilling. Oh, Thursday for the standard edition. I'm gonna get it on Thursday then. Letting Becton go might come back to haunt us. I don't know, man. We couldn't keep him. We couldn't keep him. We couldn't keep him, man. You know, you play well, you earn money, you move on. That's what it is. Harley Chewbacca, what up? I wanted to keep Becton too, but you know, can't keep them all. Can't keep them all, man. I'm just ready for the season to get here at this point, man. I'm ready for the season to get here at this point, man. I'm ready to see the banner drop. We close, man. We just won a Super Bowl. Now we about to play the second preseason game, bro. The season is under a month away. I remember when it was 100 days away to kickoff. 100 days away to kickoff, man. You know what I mean? 100 days away to kickoff. I can't believe that we are right here about to play in another season and as the defending champs again. LB, what you think of the Cam and Gilly beef? I think what Cam is doing is Cam is trying to diminish Gilly's rap career, but Cam not understanding that they both had main careers and now they're in a subgenre of their life and of their careers. And this subgenre, which is this podcasting world, Gilly $1 million worth of game is probably like a top 3 situation. Cam in the 4for1 podcast might not even be a top 10 situation. I think Cam is upset because he's not as accomplished as Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. But Cam would think he's accomplished. Cam gonna say national championship, Heisman. Cam got all of them things. But I personally think they're just as accomplished, bro. Jalen national champion. Jalen was a Heisman finalist. It's not like he wasn't like never sniffed the Heisman. Like it's not like he wasn't in these type of conversations. He was a Heisman finalist, national champion. You know what I'm saying? Burt Bell Award, All Pro, Pro Bowler. They got the same amount of winning seasons already. Jalen Hurts Super Bowl MVP. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? What are we talking about here? I think Cam and Jalen are just as accomplished. Winning Super Bowl MVP and playing in 2 Super Bowls, it evens the playing field when you say, oh, but Cam got a Heisman and Cam won MVP. Playing in 2 Super Bowls and winning Super Bowl MVP is better than winning 1 MVP. It's better than winning 1 MVP. You know what I mean? Jalen has been they both been at the heights at college and at the pros. I think the beef with Gilly is just a distraction. You want to call Gilly a mascot and all of this. I never seen the Eagles head of security bring the Lombardi trophy to a mascot birthday party, bro. I never saw it. That's just me being real. I never seen a celebrity from the city run out with the team like Gilly do every week, like Lil Uzi Vert and all of them. I seen Lil Uzi Vert is like a rock star though. You know what I'm saying? Gilly is like a Philadelphian, so is Lil Uzi Vert, but Gilly is walking around in the locker room giving speeches to the team. Like to say he a mascot is whack. Is whack, bro. Is whack. And it's he was in the front of the parade with the Eagles car, bro. He was in the front of the parade he was a part of the parade. But I digress. I digress. Dudes be hating, man. Jalen, the only college QB that took 2 teams to the playoffs when it was 4 teams. Ever? You know what I mean? I can't say that. I really can't speak for Cam and what Cam got going on, man. Cam could have jumped on that ball and changed his whole legacy. His legacy to me is somebody who ain't jump on the ball. The only reason why the NFL posted Cam Newton highlights was because of the back and forth and the stuff surrounding his name. When we look at Cam Newton highlights, show me a play that Cam Newton has made that Jalen Hurts hasn't made already. Show me a play that Cam Newton has made that Jalen Hurts hasn't made. Show me a play that Cam Newton has made show me anything that Cam Newton could do that Jalen Hurts can't do. I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Cam Newton. I do. I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than a lot of people because Jalen Hurts is smarter than a lot of people. And that takes you a long way, bro. Nobody thought Tom Brady was good, but Tom Brady's mind is what made him the GOAT. LB, Manziel not allowed in Philly. Manziel can come wherever he want. But the thing about it is Manziel gonna be in Philly. Nobody gonna know who he is. Nobody gonna know who he is. Gilly could go to Manziel's hometown and people will know who he is. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, your legacy is defined by what you do in critical moments. Your legacy is defined by what you do when the lights are the brightest. Let's talk about legacy for a minute. What's Dak Prescott's legacy? Dak Prescott's legacy is being the first quarterback to make $60 million annually per year. That's his legacy, bro. That's his legacy. Kirk Cousins' legacy is all the money he made and not having to have the postseason success. Kirk Cousins' legacy and Dak Prescott's legacy is how they keep getting paid. That's their legacy. That's their legacy. It's different. It's different. What's Michael Parsons' legacy right now? You can't add Super Bowl champion. You can't add Super Bowl champion, bro. People don't talk about Phillip Rivers. What makes you think they'll talk about Dak Prescott 3 years after he retired? What makes you think so? Nobody. Odell Beckham just announced his retirement. They're not going to talk about Odell Beckham Jr. They're not going to talk about Odell. In 10 years, nobody's going to talk about Odell. Everybody will talk about Jalen Hurts for years to come, bruh. Jalen Hurts has immortalized himself in them 2 Super Bowls, winning Super Bowl MVP. He's immortalized himself. They don't talk about Romo no more. They don't talk about Romo no more. The issue with the Cowboys fans is simple, man. I've been telling y'all this for years, bro. The Dallas Cowboys, the African-American male that is a Dallas Cowboys fan, 9 times out of 10, is just a Dak Prescott fan with a crush on Dak Prescott. They need Dak Prescott to be the first black quarterback in Dallas Cowboys history to win a Super Bowl. That's the African-American male ego Cowboy fan. They're not Cowboys fans. They're Dak sexuals, bro. Dak Prescott and being a Dallas Cowboys fan is 2 separate things, bro. A Dallas Cowboys fan, a real Dallas Cowboys fan, is saying that we should have never paid him. We should have spent that money somewhere else. That's what a real Dallas Cowboys fan is, man. These other guys that, if you still saying Dak is the best quarterback in the NFC East, then that lets you know where you stand right there. It couldn't be anything further than the truth, man. Dak is nowhere near better than Jalen Hurts or Jaden Daniels. It's just not true. He don't know how to win in the playoffs. He don't take his game up to that level. You know what I mean? He don't know how to take his game up to that level. If you still making excuses for the team around any quarterback as to why they can't get the job done, while saying that they're so much better than Jalen Hurts, I don't take that stuff serious no more, man. I don't take them Dak eaters. They Dak eaters. That was funny, Desert Eagle. They some Dak eaters. I don't take them Dak eaters serious. He's a Dak eater, a Dak rider. We don't take them guys serious, man. How you all on the internet and Bills fans, man? Bills fans have become a disgrace. They've become a disgrace, man. I like Josh Allen. Josh Allen is probably like my Josh Allen might be like my 3rd favorite quarterback. My 3rd favorite quarterback in the game to watch play. Jalen, Josh Allen, and Pat. They're my 3 guys I like to see play the most. I really, really like Josh Allen. I understand that Josh Allen has just kept running in the Pat. There's nothing you could do. Bro can't even beat Patrick Mahomes, bro. Not saying that it's easy beating Patrick Mahomes. I think he 0-3 against Pat in the playoffs. He can't beat Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen just won. Josh Allen won the most sympathy MVP I ever seen. That was a sympathy MVP award. A sympathy MVP. Josh Allen was not the first or second best player in the league last year, man. He wasn't better than Lamar. He wasn't even the best quarterback. Lamar Jackson was the best quarterback in the league last year. Lamar Jackson probably should have won MVP again. They can't keep giving it to Lamar. So they had to give Josh Allen a sympathy award. Saquon Barkley should have been second. He should have been second to Lamar Jackson. Before Josh Allen got it, Saquon Barkley should have got it. They gave him a sympathy award. He's so happy to accept the sympathy award because he can't beat Patrick Mahomes. A lot of people can't beat Pat. I don't know what a lot of people can do. I know Jalen Hurts be beating Pat up. I know Jalen Hurts beat Pat regular season, Super Bowl, outplayed him in another. I know Jalen Hurts could beat Pat, but everybody's so much better than Jalen Hurts. Why can't they beat the boogeyman in their conference? My quarterback got we the boogeyman in our conference. We the boogeyman in our conference. You know what I'm saying? Craig, what's up, Craig? Everybody's so much better than everybody. Why can't they beat the boogeyman in their conference? Lamar can't beat him. I think Burrow beat him one time and got to the Super Bowl. These guys can't beat him. They can't even beat him in a regular season. Bro, the Patriots will blow the Dallas Cowboys out. The Patriots will blow the Cowboys don't even know how to play chess, man. Spags will have Dak in a cell. You know what I'm saying? Jalen, unique cross, yes. You're supposed to play your best game against the best. These guys get up against Pat and fold. You know what I'm saying? Have you selected a winner for the season opener? Yeah, the winner for the season opener, he can't make it, so he requested a ticket to Eagles Commanders. So me and him going to that game. Me and him going to that game. But I'm gonna be at the opener though. Make it make sense, man. I'm not worried about I guarantee victory. I guarantee victory against the Dallas Cowboys September 4th. I guarantee victory, man. Ask a Dallas Cowboys content creator to guarantee it. I guarantee the Eagles beat the Cowboys September 4th. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck as a franchise. They suck as a fan base. They just terrible. They terrible. Nobody not worrying about them, man. I'm already on the week 2 against the Chiefs. That's what I want to see. Yeah, the home Commanders game, D-Lo. Pull up. I think it's like a December. It's gonna be brick. Cowboys trash, man. I guarantee victory, man. I'm not sweating that, man. Clip it, post it, do it. I know the spies in here. And there's a couple people that was on my last video. Somebody said, you trying to sound too tough. Just report the news and be professional. Bro, like what? If you don't like the way that I talk, if you don't like the way that I do things, if you don't like the way, first of all, I'm a real Philadelphian, bro. If you want Eagles football to be watered down and brought to you a different type of way, go search for the content creator of your liking, bro. Go search for that guy, man. You must be new here. Always, you gotta be new here. We definitely out there in December. He probably was a Cowboys fan. He trying to sound tough. What are you talking about trying to sound tough? If the way another grown man talks about football makes you fearful, then you should go watch My Little Pony. Go watch Junie and Tony. My kids watch Junie and Tony on YouTube. Go watch Junie and Tony so they can sing you a lullaby. Go watch it. If your chest hurt, if something tight in your chest happened when I talk this championship talk, go watch cartoons. Oh, man. It's confusing to me. You trying to sound tough. Like, how do you sound tough? How do you sound tough? Come on, man. Go watch something else, man. Go play with something safe, man. Go play with something safe. At the end of the day, man, the day going to end, and it's going to end with an Eagles W. It's going to end with an Eagles W. That's the only thing that's tough about my message. Y'all might have to pull up to that Washington. I think it's going to be a good game. The season it's late in the season, but I think it's a good game. Tell them we're not out of town sports fans. That's what I be trying to tell people, bro. I'm not, and it's nothing against out of town sports fans, but like I'm really from the soil. I'm really from 17th and York. I'm really from Philadelphia, bro. I rode the train with the Philadelphia Inquirer, reading the back of the sports page on my way to school every day, bro. Reading about the Eagles. Middle school, high school, I really did that, bro. I'm really from the soil. I understand that a bad 3 weeks of Eagles football increases the murder rate in that city. A bad 3 weeks, if the Eagles win, you can see a mortal enemy and he get a pass for the day. He get a pass for the day. You know what I'm saying? LB tailgate in Washington. That's a good idea. I think the Philly Sports Trip going to throw a tailgate. Most likely, I'm going to be at that one. Wanamaker, tell them, LB, you already know. We already know what the Wanamaker before they tore it down. This is lunchtime with the bully. This wasn't even lunchtime. This is just a video I made on the deck yesterday. One dude was like, "You doing too much." What are you talking about? You're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. If I'm doing too much and you feel I'm doing too much, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. If you're offended by championship talk, it's a lot of losers that's going to upload today. This is for Eagles championship talk. Championship. If you think I'm doing too much, you probably don't. You should not watch Super Friends this week or next week. You shouldn't watch it. You shouldn't watch it. A lot of people are going to be upset when that episode come out too, because why should I tone it down? Everybody said Jalen Hurts couldn't win a Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl. I'm here to rub it in your face. You know what I'm saying? But more content coming later, man. Keep your ears glued to the streets. Keep your ears glued to the streets. Joint practice is going to be lit. It's going to be a movie. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Do all of that. I'm on the road to, 32,000 subscribers or something like that. Thank y'all all sincerely from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm going to be announcing a new sponsor probably around September 1st, but it's going to be a good one for you, man. This it's going to be a good one. And they're going to sponsor the channel the whole football season, kind of like how we did last year with BetUS. But this sponsor is not BetUS. It's going to be different. And, I'm just excited for you all, man. Thank you. Have a good Tuesday. Like and subscribe.